Always.
Tried and true. Yeah, I know.
I can turn it off.
Well, that's the thing is they're both off, but one of them's on its side.
So we just put something on it.
Yeah, you want to go try to solve that mess?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the one in the back corner. If that helps. Well, cheers, bud.
Cheers, man. Good morning. It's about 4 p.m. something.
It's 5 somewhere.
Yeah.
It's 5 somewhere.
It's 11 a.m. somewhere.
Kirkland Light. It's 11 a.m. somewhere.
Yeah. So, we're back. Episode 1 of season 2.
About time.
About f***ing time. So, forgive us for the time being. We are in the midst of kind of redoing our original set. So, we're kind of got this wonderful blue velvet, sultry, sexy background for the time being.
Magic show. We prepared a magic show for y'all, actually.
Yes. We're going to make beer come out of somewhere later. Stay tuned. So, Ryan, what are we drinking right now just as we pass the time?
Oh, just an English lager from a local brewery here in Austin, Oddwood Ales. But they also make lagers. They don't just make ales.
Like, I think one of my favorites, they have an Italian Pilsner. I
Their
believe.
Italian Pilsner is
It's pretty dope.
quite fantastic. It's a, how do you say?
So nice.
It's a Chef Boyardee.
Oh, yes. And it has it makes you do this.
But yeah, English lager. You're like, oh, what's that? It's basically just English grain, English hops, X lager yeast. So you get this clean English flavor without, having other stuff in the way.
Cool.
But
Cool. It's pretty crystal clear. It's a little foggy here because it's so cold.
well, they don't even filter there, so.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Okay, so it actually is cloudy.
Small brew pub.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I dig that. I dig it.
Mhm.
Tastes great. Pedals. We have a whole lineup this season that's going to be really fun. I don't even know what it's going to be because usually before an episode, I go pick out a few pedals, and he does his beer shitlord. Beer shitlording by finding a beer to pair with it. But I think we're going to mix up, and we're going to do a lot more things this season. Have some more exclusive stuff because now we have a Patreon up. It is up. We're going to post the link in this video to go subscribe to that, go pay for it, because we have one tier right now, and the starting tier is, what do we call it?
PilzNerdz Light.
PilzNerdz Light, Lite.
Yeah. You will be all our fellow Pilsnerds if you sign up on our Patreon.
Absolutely. So what the first tier grants you is exclusive content. Then also you get the episode 2 days before we actually release it. So instead of releasing on Sundays, what we used to do, we're actually going to release the normal episodes on Mondays, or actually Tuesdays. I think we said Tuesdays.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's a few days after, but yeah, you'll be able to get the if you pay for it, you'll be able to get it on Sunday night at the latest. So
if it's too late on Sunday, you wake up Monday morning, and you got a nice present for you at work.
And by work we mean just your home, because everybody's home.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Patreon, and we'll start getting some more tiers with some more merch benefits. Just stay tuned for that, and we're gonna hop right into this wonderful.
It's $3 a month.
Oh yeah,
That's what you forget. Yeah,
that's right.
it's just $3 a month for the price of one shit beer.
Yeah,
You can subscribe to us.
Yeah, you get 30 minutes of shit episodes.
Roughly, yeah, and your contributions will help us support our beer addiction.
Yes.
And also his pedal addiction.
It's a noble cause.
Because I still have to buy this. I don't just drink all the beer that I make at work. I buy a lot of other people's beer, so
I do too.
It does add up. Anything that y'all could part ways with, and we'll make more tiers in the future.
I'm not gonna give a timescape for it, but we're definitely gonna start building pedals soon as well. So keep an eye out for that. That's gonna be fun. So hopping right in, we have the Xotic SP Compressor.
The Joe Exotic?
I wish. I guess Tiger King would. He might use this.
He probably have it on his pedal. He's like a country guy.
He probably has all exotic pedals, really.
He probably exclusively buys exotic.
Yeah,
pedals.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's tiger stripes every single one of them.
Everyone, all different tiger prints, all different big cat prints.
Oh, of course, yeah. Big cat prints, little tiny pedals. But yeah, so this is the SP Compressor. This is modeled after the vintage mid to late 70s Ross compressor, if you've ever seen that. Looks like this. And it's apparently very coveted. It's very much considered the holy grail of compressor pedals. So we're just going to dive right in. But yeah, so here's my clean tone. Good old tried and true Mini 101 quilter head with a closed back 1x12 cabinet. It's just too clean to be true. It's very much designed after the coveted Ross compressor pedal. I will say this, I've never heard a Ross compressor. This is one of the first times that I actually ever hearing the Ross compressor pedal, which pedal nerds, let me know in the comments below what I should be knowing about this, because I know this pedal pretty well. And we're gonna dive into it. So we have two knobs. We have a volume and blend, and then we have a three-way switch that's low, medium, and high. So the blend is just, you can actually blend your dry signal if you want to. Of course, dry and wet. A common theme with this show.
Only dry and wet pedals in this show.
Exactly.
Mostly wet.
So, so we have this blend knob, and that's for I think this can be used with bass guitar too because of that. Because a lot of compressors, especially guitar compressors, they just take all the low end out. They just have that habit of, no, I won't say all the low end, that's a little drastic. But they do have a habit of kind of sucking tone and kind of coloring the signal themselves. So to alleviate that, or to at least balance it, they add the blend knob. So if you have some rich low end that you like, you can kind of keep that with also compressing your sound at the same time.
Cool.
So yeah, I am going to probably do this a little bit blended, the volume up. The blend knob, I have it pretty much at midnight. I'll put it actually right there at midnight, and then I'll probably crank it here in a sec. Volume a little bit past midnight so we don't have too much volume change. I'm on the low setting right now, so clean tone. All right. You're gonna kind of hear some buzz going up because it's compressing the sound.
Compressor?
Hardly know what you're talking about. What? Dun, dun, dun. So it's a very clean, this is a very clean effect.
Super clean.
Yeah.
It's almost like, to the untrained ear, like if I was just closing my eyes right now with the clean tone, it's like you're just, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like if you're just plugging it into the amp. Your first Fender or decent guitar, plugging it into your first decent amp.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Not too much going on right now.
Exactly. So yeah, because also I have it blended, so there doesn't seem like there's much effect, and we're going to dive into that too. So I can talk about compressors all day long because I love compressors, studio compressors, pedal compressors. I don't usually use them on the guitar that much, more bass or other kind of heavier frequency instruments. Guitar's kind of cool. I'm starting to kind of come around to it. Do you know what compression really does? Do you have an idea what it may do, just based off the name itself?
Takes the normal signal or the normal sound and just kind of scrunches it.
Exactly.
In a sense, if you're playing something loud, it kind of keeps it from being too loud. But also I heard if you're playing something really quiet, it also helps bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. So
kind of keeps it in a range, more or less.
Yeah, exactly. So think about when you're frying a burger and you just compress it. You still have all of your burger,
yes,
but it's just
kind of keeps it, to get a better sear on a chicken breast if we're thinking food.
Yeah.
It's good to compress that chicken breast to where it's an even thickness of
breast.
Yeah.
So it, you don't get that fat part of the breast. undercooked, and the skinny part of the breast
super cooked.
Overcooked.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it's doing. Like it's literally
we are literally 4.
We are 4 years old that also love food
And
and breast. So yes, you're right, exactly. So that's what compressors do. They literally just compress the signal. And a great teacher of mine in college, he just said it makes the lows high and the highs low. When you're talking about volume, it makes the lows highs and the highs low. It reduces dynamics. The bad part of it, but the good part of it is it gives your signal this very even kill sound. So like
Nice.
we're gonna kind of. So I've already done this setting here. Very low compression, also blends halfway up. We're gonna just do the blend all the way up. So we're gonna turn this off real quick so you can hear the difference here. I'm gonna hit this A chord again. There's a little bit of this kind of squashed characteristic. It's kind of hard to tell.
It's so subtle.
It's so subtle. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hike it to high. Hear that already?
Yeah.
It's already making those low. It's just it's harsh compression. And I forgot to mention there are like little switches inside the pedal, which I will demonstrate here. I'll just open it up. But you know what? Let's open it up right now. So that's what's inside. There's a few switches, kind of sculpt your tone. Okay, getting back to it. So we're at very high compression right now. You can already hear it's just hiked up all the low volume stuff.
But yeah, you like
it's still the same volume.
Still the same volume. That's right. You're
still
still strumming like decently hard, pretty hard.
Exactly.
Still that same. Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of times you'll see on compression pedals like sustain. But see here, all the low stuff. This is like super low volume stuff.
Yeah. But it's bringing it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I hit play it really light, that's really loud for being at a really low volume.
Right. That makes sense.
But then. And then.
Let's see.
I'm playing I'm like doing
Right.
the lightest feather touch possible, and then if I really hit really hard,
Nice.
it's literally the
It
exact.
really just keeps it all even.
It's all even. So that's a lot like what's called
Magic.
It's a lot of magic. See the magic show.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the country players love compression because if you're doing, the guy I work with put it the best. He said it's essentially distortion without distortion.
Is this Brent?
No, it's Tony.
Oh, they're both country guys, right?
Both country guys, yeah.
Classic, typical Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, which country are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of cool because you do have a clean guitar, but it sounds distorted because of how much you're compressing.
It's sick.
It sounds like distortion, but that's completely clean guitar.
Yeah.
It's insane. So
when you play something really loud, it doesn't jump too shocking too much, or just doesn't
Mhm.
jump out at you. I was like, I wish I had the same thing on my crash cymbals as a drummer. I wish I
Yep.
could just like hit them loud, or be playing like soft parts, and like those times when you're playing, you accidentally hit the cymbal a little too hard.
Yep.
And you were hoping to hit it when you're doing more soft parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm jealous that y'all have this.
it's nice. I'm not gonna lie. I've come around to it a lot, especially for those guys who love chicken picking, which is the really fast like country music, like the Brad, like early Brad Paisley stuff. All that stuff. It's perfect for that. It gets all that slappy and snappy, like greasy sounding. Guitar.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's the SP Compressor by Xotic.
And it's like probably the tiniest pedal we've done so far.
I think so. I think
I mean,
so.
You could be like, oh, where did I put that thing? And then, like
Oh yeah.
right out of the exotic hole, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, hey, the Joe Exotic hole. I gotta be honest with you guys. I've actually never watched the Tiger King shit.
I did.
I saw all the memes and everything, but
I did, and I can't believe all that was real. Like, you can't script it any crazier than how real. I mean, just like what happened in real life, I can't
I can't
believe
fathom that.
But you're like, oh, It is in Oklahoma, so
Tone notes about the pedal. It's not really much to it. It's super clean.
yeah,
I
clean
will
and pure.
clean and pure. When you get to that high compression, I'm gonna say milky, kind of milky.
Also, white ties into milk.
It does. Very, very just smooth and like you're petting a cat that wants it.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I'd rather pet a dog. Dogs are like 100% better, mostly because I'm allergic to cats. But
I agree too.
yeah,
But still, though, it's hard to pet a cat that like truly is like at ease with you. So like,
once you find that perfect cat,
that perfect cat. This is the cat that's like, dude, I'm all about it.
yeah, this is the cat
Stroke me.
that's like a dog.
Exactly. This is the cat that plays fetch. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's just smooth and silky pedal.
Yeah, there's really not much more to it. With the Joe Exotic SP Carol Baskin compressor, what did you bring to pair?
Just like this, it's kind of a standby, tried and true pedal. How common is it, you think?
Oh man, I mean you can find. I mean we're
just
in
a lot of different genres.
Yeah, it's just
Probably.
it's everywhere, and like this is pretty much like this pedal with the beer that we're about to I think get here is very much like you can use this in any genre.
Yeah,
and it's okay. You'll never get fired for having this pedal.
Just so, with that being said, you'll never get fired for bringing this beer to the occasion.
Okay, dude, this is
Brooklyn Lager. You guys know it. Most of y'all have consumed a lot of this.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I totally didn't plan this. This was so by coincidence. And Scott totally didn't buy me this shirt.
No, not at all. Not while I would have never bought this for him, and I definitely didn't buy it for him while I was in Brooklyn.
He definitely didn't go to Brooklyn and buy this.
No.
He definitely didn't go to the brewery, and I wasn't there. And but thanks for getting me the shirt, dude.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Looks great on you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old sexy standby
Yeah.
Brooklyn Lager. Brooklyn Amber Lager. I think it's updated to Hoppy Amber Lager now.
Okay. That's new. That's pretty new.
It's always been fairly hoppy amber lager, but just like this is kind of like a classic type of pedal, or based off a classic pedal. This is kind of a newer, updated version. So now Brooklyn being kind of hoppier than your typical amber lager, it's kind of more the rest. I bet they've updated the recipe over the years.
Oh, for
kind of,
sure.
You know, from when they first started making this amber lager.
And this is an updated take on a vintage pedal. So I think this is gonna be kind of cool.
Yeah. You see, it's more common seeing all these amber lagers start utilizing a little bit more American hops to kind of update to the kind of American palate.
Gotcha.
Nowadays, make it more palatable to us Americans. Europeans, maybe not so much, but exotic USA, baby.
Brooklyn, USA, baby. So hey, you know what? Being back, Ryan, what are we gonna do?
We gotta finish these beers first. Now that our glasses are empty, we gotta do a hardcore pour. Duh. And we're back.
And we're back, and that is a malty boy.
Yeah, it's a fairly unctuously malty. It's probably not. Let's see when it was canned. Just ruined that shot.
No, you're good.
It says best before April. It must have canned it like later in 2020.
I guess like what's the length of hop freshness in a can though?
I'd say like with most beers, just generally within 3 months.
Okay.
Consume
Cool.
it.
Gotcha.
When it's packaged, especially if it's in a can.
Wow,
Especially
you really sounded Wisconsin there, just when it's packaged.
if it's packaged.
Oh, you like the Packers too?
We're not even on the Wisconsin-y episode next.
No, not even yet.
Not yet. Teaser. Teaser. But yeah. But you want to consume it within 3 months, especially if that beer is potentially stored at room temperature, as we say, hot shelved.
Gotcha.
Even though it's not hot, but it's, when beer is supposed to be consumed just sub 40 degrees, and you're storing it at 75 degrees, that's fairly warm for beer, especially if there's still yeast in it, which there's no yeast. They filter the hell of it, but
no kidding. Yeah, that's like
nice crystal clear.
Like, look at that. That's just like you can see right through that son of a gun.
It also had great head retention when we poured it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like shit.
As you saw in the hardcore pour.
Yeah, but so they're obviously they have all the bells and whistles at Brooklyn. They have the nice brewing technology over there.
Flavor notes on the lager. I got automatically it was just like malty. Like it definitely like the hops were there, but I felt it was more of a malty thing that hit me.
A malty thing that you've tasted before. Just like how this pedal, you've heard it. You've heard just like that clean guitar tone a million times. Just like you maybe have had this beer or something like it, like Boston Lager. Also would be a good pairing. It's pretty much the same style of beer.
Yeah.
It hits you with that malt, decently flavorful malt.
Okay.
And then just kind of also just like some extra flavor from the hops.
Yeah.
Not too bland.
No, it
has some flavor, some texture to this pedal.
Pitter patter.
Just like this beer has something else going on that rather than just being one dimensional in the maltiness, it also has a little bit of a hop kick to it.
It does, and like on that hop kick, it's hoppier than other lagers I've tasted.
Sure.
So I feel like
for
this
instance, like our Big Bark Amber Lager.
Yeah, that's so much more like sweet malty. And I don't want to say like super sweet.
It perceives sweet,
but
it's
perceived sweet.
Like it finishes more dry, and it's less hoppy. Has hops for sure, but less.
But right up front, it's more of that perceived malt sweetness without a lot of that hop hit in the front. I feel like this is very much, and I might get stabbed by him. I feel like this is almost like...
Forgot my knife.
Yeah.
Oh, I can stab you with your own knife.
Yeah, there you go. So, so I feel like this is kind of almost pale ale-y, IPA-y. Ah!
No, you're. It is so close to being like some of the more old school amber West Coast IPAs, but they're like, here's an American IPA.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it's like, or the India Pale Ale. You're like, that's amber. That's not pale.
It's not pale at all. It's very much like this is what I'm used to. You're right. Like on like the West Coast.
Yeah, that's the thing. These American amber lagers have almost turned into those old school American IPAs, but it's a lager, so it's a little smoother. I guess that's subjective.
No, but I'm glad you said that because actually it does have that West Coast IPA feel to it. Obviously, this is a lager. This is not an ale, but you said smooth, and I was actually going to say this is smoother than that perceived IPA feel.
Smooth, like lager yeast, less alcohol than a typical American IPA.
Yeah, it feels like there's more alcohol than there actually is in there. What does it say on here?
5.2.
This feels. I mean, I'm drinking this, and it tastes to me like a 6 to 7% beer.
Yeah, you're hitting it on the head for sure. It's almost American IPA territory, which would also be a decent pairing with this pedal. Because,
for sure.
Because it's something that you've had before, and this is a pedal that you've definitely heard before. So.
For sure. Cool.
But there's not a lot to it, right? Really easily palatable.
Super.
For both your mouth.
Super.
And your ears. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm curious. What are we gonna give this? Because I think flavor-wise, this is a little bit darker than what the pedal's giving off.
Sure. I could have gotten something even more pale.
I think so. I think this almost hit the mark. So I don't know. I'm gonna throw out 7.5.
Sure. The Brooklyn recipe seems to have gotten more hoppy over the years. A little bit more.
I feel that.
Even oomph to it. Like if I, maybe a better pairing would have been like Big Bark, even though it's not pale, but it's like
it's lighter tasting.
It's lighter.
Yeah, I remember like 3 or 4, if not 5 years ago, like crushing these at a concert, we would play shows, and when shows existed,
when we would play shows.
I hate to say that phrase, but it's true. So like when we used to play shows, like I would spend my 2 drink tickets just on one beer, and I would usually get the Brooklyn Lager because they would have in that big ass tall boy can.
Mohawk.
And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
because I would do the same.
Yeah, we would do the same. But I remember it being like a lighter flavor. It wasn't so like I think they have changed the recipe a little bit.
Now that it says hoppy amber lager, that definitely they're not skimping on the hops for sure.
For sure, but it's not intrusive. So, what did I say? 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 on this bad boy. I think this is still a pretty solid pairing, but it's like almost there.
Yeah, maybe something a little lighter.
Maybe something a little lighter. So maybe not like an amber lager. Maybe something like a hoppy,
like a Bass Pale Ale, like a good old English Bass Pale Ale. Even though it's not USA or whatever.
Yeah, can't spell bass without ass. Good, buddy. I think we did pretty darn good on this round.
Yeah.
Welcome back, PilzNerdz.
Welcome back. Subscribe. Also like the video. Comment below on what other beers we should pair with this pedal.
Absolutely.
What other ideas you got. Also, what other pedals you want us to review.
Absolutely.
Because we got 2 lined up. After that, it's just kind of like we don't know what's next. So feel free to help us steer the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're here for you. Give us suggestions, and we'll see you very soon. And remember, we got a Patreon, so there will be more things coming with that. Some cool merch.
$3 a month. 1 light beer per month. You could be a PilzNerd Light.
PilzNerd Light, buddy. All right. Stay pretentious, y'all.
Stay pretentious.